Hello everyone, and welcome to the first and last ever Movie Rumble Tumble. I'm your judge and host, Angus King. Before we get started, let me explain how this is going to work. We have 3 topics that our combatants will debate. At the end of each round, I will judge and announce the winner. Now that we all know what's going on, let's introduce our first combatant. He's been called Sloanin the Barbarian by himself and his mum. I know him as Alcoholic Jesus, but ultimately, his name is Ryan. Welcome to the show, Ryan. Good to have you here.
It's good to be here.
Are you looking forward to debating some movie facts?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being the champion of the first and last ever Rumble Tumble movie.
Excellent,
thing.
excellent. Let's get out your opponent. We have the giant with the great hair, the film fighter himself. He is known by many names, but we know him better as Just John. Welcome, John. Glad to have you here. Right, let's just get straight into it. For our first topic, you are both going to pitch me your Star Wars Episode 8 ideas. We will hear from both of you separately first, and then you will have a chance to argue with each other's ideas and pick holes in them. Ryan, we're going to start with you, because the prompter is telling me to start with you.
Okay. Well, my Star Wars Episode 8 idea would be, first off, get the R rating. We've seen it worked for Deadpool, it's worked for Logan. Secondly, take the S off the wars, make it Star War, make it singular, one story. Next, murder every character we've met so far, and just bring back Dexter. I thought he was the greatest character in Star Wars lore, and with his 4 arms he can...
Meaning Dexter, correct?
Yeah, with 4 arms he can not only pull his trousers up with 1 arm, but use his other 3 to hold lightsabers. And who knows, he might be force sensitive. He knows about the cloners, not many people do, so.
So, you want to reintroduce Dexter as a main character?
Yeah, for episode 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way to at least 34.
Cool. Right. John?
Well, I think Ryan's idea wasn't very good because we all know that Dexter Jetster is far too minor to bring back as a main character. I think a character that would make sense is Jar Jar Binks. You know, it's a very common choice for a lot of people, but I'd say that, you know, he's had his absence for quite a while now, and he's a fan favorite surely, so he'd be able to create some funny jokes for the kids and give everyone a laugh. I'd also have Kylo Ren would probably turn out to be Luke's son, even though it was actually Han Solo's son. But
so you're saying that there was an incestual relationship?
Well, there's been hints of it before, so
very true.
Yeah, so you know, for the end, I'd probably say that you'd have to have Han Solo come back, something like that. You know, something recent that hits people to the heart.
Excellent. Ryan, do you care to return comment?
Yeah, John said that Dexter was a bit too minor, but do you know who else was a minor character in the original trilogy? Anakin Skywalker. And they made 3 movies about him, and as we know, everyone loved every one of them, thought they were better than the originals. And Jar Jar Binks, I don't think would hit many people close to the heart. Maybe in the same way a knife would, but not in the way emotional movies should.
Well, I'd have to say there that Dexter, Jetster, and Darth Vader do have the, you know, they're both minor characters, but I'd say Darth Vader did more than talk to Obi-Wan and scratch his ass, you know. He did a lot in the original trilogy, even though he was a minor character. He might as well have been a main character for the amount of things he did in the original trilogy.
I guess he choked enough people. Dexter could choke 3 times as many.
Dexter showed up in one scene. Darth Vader showed up in every movie.
And
for
I've
multiple
quoted that
scenes.
scene every day since I watched it for the first time back in 2002 or so.
You're not talking sense here, Ryan.
I am making Lucasfilm the money.
Everyone wants Jar Jar.
No one wants Jar Jar. Everyone wants Dexter to be both Rey under the skin. It's actually Dexter, as well as Snoke. Plot twist.
I don't think
Schizophrenia.
I don't think anyone remembers who Dexter is.
You did.
Yeah, because Jar Jar, like.
That's your
Let me just get into this a wee bit. How would you tie in both you? So you want to lead the films with Jar Jar, and you want to lead the films with Dexter. How would you tie them into what we've already had in episode 7?
Well, just make every character retcon them all as Dexter. Every single one of them.
Right, that's great.
Well, I have to say, we have Jar Jar's betrayal. He gave Palpatine those emergency powers or whatever.
Okay, John, I'm going to have to cut you off there. We're going to have to bring this round to a close. Great round, although I'm going to have to give it to John. His Jar Jar argument was too great. Dexter, very good, but we're going to have to move on for our next round. So our next topic is best Nicolas Cage movie. You're each going to argue what you personally feel is the best Nicolas Cage movie. What merit that is up to yourself. John, we're going to start with you this time.
All right, so my choice is quite an obscure one. I think that Nicolas Cage's best movie is Vampire's Kiss. I think it's one of his earliest roles as a businessman who goes nuts and starts to think he's a vampire. I think it's his best because I think it's got the first signs of his like over-the-top acting method, and I think that it's got a nice little story. It's got a nice little story arc going on there. Doesn't go too far out, But I'd like to see what movie could even beat that,
Tough words. Ryan?
Yeah, you asked what movie could beat it, and I'll tell you, Face Off can beat it. Like you said at the beginning, or implied, there's two ways to answer this question. There's acting-wise and best movie that he's in. Well, for both, I would say Face Off. Face Off has Oscar winner Nick Cage in it, as well as crazy over-the-top modern-day Nick Cage. And what else? What more do you want in an actor for a movie? And for why it's the best movie he's in, there's not many people that can be as over the top as Nick Cage, but one of the only people that can come close is John Travolta. So having a movie where Nick Cage plays John Travolta playing Nick Cage, and John Travolta plays Nick Cage playing John Travolta, is there anything else? As well as it came out in 1997, and it's a classic. It was ahead of its time. It's a classic, almost 2000s era movie without the leather that the Matrix brought into every 2000s movie.
Yes,
It's
I
got
agree.
the classic John Woo scene where the church opens, someone's walking in, the doves fly everywhere. It's everything you could ever want in a movie.
Yes, I must agree. John, do you have anything to answer back with that?
You really give me a run for money, you know that.
Yeah.
But there is something I have.
Oh, was it?
In Vampire's Kiss, Nicolas Cage runs through the street, waving his arms about, shouting he's a vampire.
Okay.
That means something. It shows his acting ability deep down from his soul. I don't think there's anything like that in Face Off. There's nothing in Face Off that tells you, man, that guy works for his position. He works for his career. Nothing does that like Vampire's Kiss.
I would argue that the scene at the opening of Face Off, when he's dressed as a priest headbanging to choir music in a church, then he grabs a woman's rump, if you will, and the face that he pulls, it's almost hamster-like. It looks kind of like a face swap with a hamster, and that right there, not many people who don't look like hamsters can make a face that looks like a hamster. That just displays his acting talent way more than Vampire's Kiss can. Vampire's Kiss is a parody of itself at this point. Face Off is an incredible action movie.
Well, Vampire's Kiss, Nicolas Cage dies in it, so that's.
All right, John. I'm gonna put you out of your misery here. I have come to a decision, and it was close, but for this one, I'm gonna give it to Ryan for Face Off. I've seen that film, and it is Nicolas Cage at one of his best performances. But yeah, we're off for a short commercial break now, but we'll be right back with our final round. See you soon.
Okay, let's go through them one more time. Night at the Museum 2.
Uh-huh.
Ice Age 3.
Yeah.
The A-Team.
Got it.
Marley and Me.
Okay, what was the first one again?
Peanut Head.
Ooh, yeah, let's watch that one.
Which one?
Peanut Head. Who's in it?
Oh, you are.
Win one of a million DVDs with our special sharing packs and make your movie night.
3 shows you all want to watch on at the same time. There's going to be a clash. But not when it comes to Virgin Media's TiVo box. Oh no. You can record this. And these two. While watching one you recorded earlier. Clash over. And TiVo has enough space for as much as 500 hours of TV, which we think is the best way to watch TV ever. But what do you think? There's more online.
At last, the UK's #1 toothbrush brand has finally developed a toothpaste that's as good as our brushes. New Oral-B Pro Expert toothpaste is clinically proven to help protect all these areas your dentist checks most. New Oral-B Pro Expert, the toothpaste our brushes have been waiting for.
And we're back, and just in time as we enter the final topic. For this topic, you will each defend a terrible film. You've both chosen your films before the show started. Ryan, you've chosen Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. John, you chose X-Men Origins Wolverine. Before we start this round, I'd like to state I've seen both of these films. I do not like either of these films. I love the character of Batman. I love the character of Wolverine. You guys have your work cut out for you. Ryan, start us off.
First off, like you said, they're both terrible films, but at least Batman vs Superman has Ben Affleck, and he gives probably the best performance of Batman we've ever seen on the TV. His Batman was incredible. He was violent, he was murdering people, he shot people, he didn't care. He was an old, withered Batman that we've not really seen yet. They tried that in The Dark Knight Rises, but it kind of just came off as he was a bit moody a little bit. Whereas this comes off as someone who's a broken human being, you know? Another thing, he does detective work as well, still staying on the Batman track. He goes detective work as Bruce Wayne as opposed to just punching people and hoping information falls out of them. Going away from the Batman part, the Superman aspect of the movie, this is a different Superman from what a lot of people have seen, which is part of the reason some people don't like it. This is a Superman who has just killed the only surviving member of his race, so he's a little bit depressed, which is unusual for the Man of Steel, and he's sort of at the realization that he wants to save everyone, but he can't, and even when he is saving a lot of people, other lives are still being lost. The film explores the ramifications of the Metropolis battle at the end of the previous movie, and the beginning bit with Ben Affleck driving through the street really makes him feel dwarfed by the action around him and really puts you into the emotional foundation of this movie.
Excellent point. John?
Okay, so a lot of people don't like X-Men Origins Wolverine, but I can defend it in saying that Hugh Jackman, okay?
Yes, Hugh
Yeah,
Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. You cannot say that he's acted Wolverine bad, regardless of what the movie is like. Yeah, so Hugh Jackman is tip-top in his position as Wolverine, as usual. The claws are a little bit but it's always they're always moving about, so you don't really notice how good they look. You know, also there's the whole Vietnam and like weird like mutant squad that he's in, and you know that's all a side of Wolverine we all want to see. You know, we want to see him fighting. We get to see him fighting all the wars, so that's a good one. Like, you never seen Wolverine do that before, and we get to see him as a little kid. He kills his father by accident.
Well, I wouldn't say running into someone with your claws is an accident.
No, well, no, I mean like he killed him on purpose, but he didn't know he was his father.
But
So
he just said that I'm your father.
after he puts claws in him, so you know, so it adds a kind of whole emotional deepness to Logan's story.
Okay, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to stop you there. Tough, but I'm gonna go with Ryan on this one. Ryan had a few more points than you, John. So that means that Ryan, you are our Rumble Tumble champion.
You're so full of shit.
What? You
Nothing.
can't say that to me.
At least I'm not a sore loser. Oh wait, because I didn't lose, I won, didn't I? That's what
Exactly.
it was, wasn't it?
Exactly. Anyway, That was an incredible show. I'd like to congratulate our Movie Rumble Tumble champion once again. I'd say I'd thank our combatants, but I don't like John anymore because he told me to. Anyway, we'll see you again never, as this was our first and last show. So that's all there is left to say. I've been your host, Angus King, and this has been Movie Rumble Tumble.